we can just put on my computer.
No, it's all good. Hey everybody, welcome to Liam's Daily Reviews. Well, not daily, weekly, lately, but yeah, we just went and saw Joker. And what did we think, family?
Loved it.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, so good. So the hype is real. First impressions, I knew I was gonna like it. I trust Rotten Tomatoes. Tomatoes. I trust that. I trust Nostalgia Critic. I trust every review. I trust Chris Stuckman, who also gave it a really good review on YouTube. So I knew I was in for a treat. I didn't know I'd like it that much, but I had high hopes. Yeah, so no spoilers. So heads up, no spoilers. This movie is still in theaters. Yeah, so no spoilers. Don't worry about that. This is my cousin Ben.
Yo.
This is my big brother Shawnee. We just come back from Joker, and mate, what a ride. Now, I know you know I don't smoke cigarettes, but my brother's just drinking beers, and I don't drink, so I'm on the water. But I'm going to have a cigarette because I want to be like the Joker. Right? Nah, makeup. I had a few hints of what I was in for. So I knew it was going to be R-rated. But that preview didn't give away anything. Now, you watched the trailer, and you watched the trailer more than once?
Yep.
Yeah,
a couple
right.
times.
So we knew, as far as I'm concerned, everything that was in that trailer was in the first 10 minutes.
Or the last.
Yeah,
like
or the
stairs.
last.
That's right.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
yeah.
So it was almost like when I was 10, 15 minutes in, it was like, oh, okay, cool. But it wasn't so theatrical as the trailer made it seem. And I was just comfortable and happy with it. You know, it was just like, okay.
I wasn't comfortable at all. For the first fucking half. You know, it's not a spoiler, right?
No, you're right.
But up to where he's dancing in the mirror. At that point, I thought, okay, if it continues like this, I might get bored. Like, I'm not going to say that, but we've been dancing and we've been quiet for a minute now. And as soon as I thought that, it changed.
It kicked in. Okay.
So at no point did it fuck with me. That's the only point where I caught myself
sort of going,
thinking about the movie.
okay.
Yeah, don't do it anymore, and they didn't.
And
that scene ended with one of my favourite pictures of the movie. He looks himself in the mirror at the end of that long dance, and it's just gold.
Yeah.
So it wrapped all that crazy slow, this is fucked up shit up perfectly, and moved on.
Yeah, cool. I had something that was stuck in my head the whole time. The soundtrack.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, the violin.
Yeah, okay. Now, I'll ask you, and then I'll tell you, what did you think of the music? I'm not, not the songs they played, but the soundtrack, you know?
I thought it was good, it was slow.
Yeah.
You know, and then it was ultimate all the way through.
Okay.
Insane.
As it built, you know,
Yeah.
it was just...
I had so for the first quarter, I had because I've got that
I didn't really notice it at first.
I did.
Okay, so I noticed it straight away. So as soon as he's talking to his psychiatrist, and it goes, when he looks up, I'm like, because, all right, so it does touch on Martin Scorsese movies. So, Taxi Driver and King of Comedy. Now, have you seen the King of Comedy?
No.
Me either, right? So he's going to hate I'm supposed to be a movie critic here. But Martin Scorsese brought a movie out called King of Comedy about a failed comedian who's just completely loses his mind, and it's starring Robert De Niro. Now, this had Robert De Niro in it, and the internet's going nuts over the fact that this is a Martin Scorsese ripoff. But the fact that he's sitting there in the chair and he's doing that, what, are you talking to me? Thing, it's an homage to it. Not so much a ripoff, it's an homage to it. But it's also an homage to King of Comedy, so that's something the three of us are going to have to sit down and watch.
Okay, fair enough, but there's a lot of paying fucking homage in that movie.
Oh, big time. But before we get into that, let me say about the soundtrack.
No, well, I've got talking about the soundtrack.
Okay, well, to me, I was like, in the 70s and the 80s, they wouldn't have needed that constant violin. It wouldn't have been there. But the acting, which was brilliant, would have been enough to make you uncomfortable and carry the movie. But as the movie got along, it was like, no, but these movies, it's 2019, it was necessary and it done everything it was supposed to do.
But then when the violin stopped, some bits...
At the bit we're not spoiling, that's what sold me. I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
When you think the soundtrack's going to just drown it out, so like, oh yeah, please feel this way, it didn't need to. That's what got me. I was like, perfect.
The soundtrack adds to. And so in this day and age, like when you said they wouldn't need it back then, that's why that movie's better than anything back then.
Yes.
But I would say in the paying homage and soundtrack side of things, not so much the music, but when he's beginning to go a little bit nuts, when shit's a little bit fucked up, it goes.
Yeah, and
and
just
it's
has that little...
distorted. Well, that is Dark Knight. Go back to that movie. Anytime the Joker enters the room, when he's got the half shotgun, the sawn off, anytime it goes.
Yeah.
Builds to losing his mind.
Yeah.
That's that. Let alone the picture that we all, when I say paying homage to the Heath Ledger, you know what I mean? That it's done a million times.
Yes.
But that it's done in the soundtrack. I noticed that in the middle.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
And that's probably more Chris Nolan. That's probably paying homage to his fucking movie.
Well, but I think if Christopher Nolan had anything to do with this, we wouldn't be as impressed. We'd be like, but
it was good.
super. The fact that it was not a superhero movie.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this, because at the start, my first impression was, this movie shouldn't have been called Joker. It should have been called Arthur. And could have been, but it brought so much more than Arthur. It really gave... here's something I thought of. Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
So we have grown up with Batman our entire lives.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne is a hero.
Thomas Wayne is the best.
Yeah, he's the white knight.
They both are. They died.
But you know what?
Made him fat.
Yeah, this is
kind of.
Well, hang on a second. Let's look at Thomas Wayne in a different light. So what? Our whole lives, we have been looking at him through Batman's eyes.
Yeah.
So a kid who watched his father die in an alleyway as a young kid.
That's all he really
So Batman is a vigilante. He did some terrible things. Was he right? Well, God. Joker had it hard. Batman had it hard.
But so you said you're glad it's not a superhero movie. No, that was a supervillain movie. That's the first time it's been done right. That's a supervillain movie.
Have you ever seen a better origin story?
Never.
No, I've never seen a better
No
origin
way.
story in my life. I have friends who have seen this, who are super movie buffs. You know me online. I'm friends with people in Alaska, Colorado, all over the world. I'm friends with filmmakers and stuff online.
Yep.
They know what they're talking about. I get into arguments with them all the time. And they've all seen Joker before me. I'm late to the party.
Yeah, me too. I was a bit late.
They were so right.
It doesn't matter.
This was unreal. This was everything I hoped for and more.
I think he's my favourite. I'll have to watch it another 5 times.
And I don't care
he's
about the
right
politics of the Academy Awards.
No,
I want him to get one.
I think he should.
Just his standalone performance.
Yeah.
Jesus, and he done it effortlessly, it seemed.
But
At the start, I thought, here we go, a day in the life of Joaquin. This is just his normal day.
But the talk show moment as well, like the beginning.
Did you think for a
think
second?
about him and his talk show moment with what's his name? It's all. He was good for
see,
a reason.
I leant over and whispered to you a couple of times in the theatre there. I was like, this is in his head.
Yeah.
And once it was, and once it wasn't.
Yeah.
But
right.
it could have been. It's like, no, and then, and we're not going to go into the ending.
No, we're not going to go.
But it's like, ooh, how well done.
Yeah.
Now, I've read interviews with the writers, directors on what they wanted, what they were doing, how they wrote it. They wrote it with Joaquin in mind.
Yeah.
And they approached him after they wrote it because they wrote it with him in mind. And he was, I'm happy, I'd like to do it,
He's just ripped it. Absolutely.
And they really, it's like they had influences from other films. And of course, they had to have influences from the superhero thing that we've all dealt with for the last 60, 70 years. But they really done what they wanted.
Yeah.
And they really done it well.
But what do you do? What do you do now? Because what kind of a Batman goes, we just changed that now completely? Because that's what they do with the Joker.
But listen, there's a new Batman movie coming out.
Yeah,
Robert Pattinson. What, you got a problem with it?
I don't know about it. I don't know about it at all.
Robert Pattinson is playing Batman.
I
can't
with
wait.
it today.
Edward from Twilight, and he's a brilliant actor.
At least you won't see his shiny skin under the Batman.
No, that's right.
I have a problem with it today because what? Robert Pattinson versus fucking that Joker, my ass.
Hey, come
you want
on,
to give me a better Batman?
Have you ever seen The Rover?
No.
The Australian movie, The Rover,
No.
with what's his face?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It's like Robert Pattinson can do anything. He's like a Paul Dano. He's unstoppable. The internet is
You
going
would
off
have
over
him
this.
against that Joker.
Do you know how everyone felt about Heath Ledger when they found out
Yeah,
he
no,
was
I
taking
know
on
that.
Jack Nicholson's
I'm
role?
aware of that. I remember Bale
He
as well.
did it, man.
Yeah.
And Bale, everyone's like, wait,
everyone
what?
said Bale. So I'm
Hey, come on,
all
everyone
for
said
it.
Affleck. I mean, those movies were shit. Affleck was a good Batman.
He's not a good. He's an acceptable Batman.
No, he's an exceptional Batman.
And do you know
Those
why
movies
he's acceptable?
suck, that's all.
So this is the reason I'd give him 40%, not your 60.
Ooh, okay.
Is because the voice in the suit makes that Batman. The voice altering thing is the new thing that he brings to it. Wouldn't Affleck Batman?
Would you prefer Christian Bale? Come on, Harvey. Oh God, Bale it's like, come on, Bale, stop it now.
I know.
There's a little kid with his gun to his head. Stop the voice now, Bale. Just save people.
Well,
Like,
it
you know,
sounds like-
Bale got silly at the end there. Like, Bale got real silly at the end there. I think...
What do you like about Affleck's fucking Batman? Tell me what you like.
Okay, the look of him, the sound of him, and Affleck's a fantastic actor. He's Oscar worthy.
Oh yeah, he is, but not in Batman. He won
Only
his
because
Oscar.
of the writing and
Fucking-
directing. Only
Yeah,
because of the
well-
writing and directing. That's Batman vs
Give me
Superman.
the suit and the shit script.
sucked. People are gonna hate me for this, but Batman vs Superman sucked.
That was pretty shit.
You know what I mean? It
Agreed.
sucked.
It's pretty shit.
But
You're
it
on the
wasn't
point here.
Batman's fault, and I hate Henry Cavill as Superman.
See, I
People
love
are
him.
Yeah. See,
I
I
think
think,
he's
and
amazing
this is
Superman.
the most unpopular
No.
opinion ever. Brandon Cooth, forever. Superman Returns.
Woo!
Like,
I like them
internet
both.
hates
I like
him.
them both.
Yeah, you like Henry Cavill? Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I just
He's
think
more, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, because he was given a way grittier role. Superman Returns is quite PG. Maybe it's just like, I can't say because I like Spacey as a.
Don't
So hang
say
on,
that shit anymore.
hey, come on,
Hey,
man.
whoa.
Don't say you like Spacey
Whoa.
on the internet. You don't grab a guy's dick,
What you call a
Spacey.
mistake?
Okay, but Joker.
Yeah.
So all right, so we're gonna wrap this up in a second. But Rotten Tomatoes was right. I think it's an Oscar-worthy performance. Will you see it again?
Yes.
Yeah,
Possibly other movies.
it just didn't let up, you know. After
Yeah.
it started, you know,
Yeah.
it was just.
I
really
watched
good.
you from
Yeah.
this to this,
Mm.
and you saw me. I was
Yeah.
like this, oh
Yeah.
bloody hell, you know. And you know the cinema was quite quiet. We were
Yeah.
like, hey, bloody hell! And what bit did you laugh at? Because I wanted to bring that up. My brother here was the only person that laughed at one moment, a very serious moment. But what was it again?
It was serious.
Well, you walked into
You walked into a glass door.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's okay.
But
Yeah.
it was at quite a not a funny moment.
But but
But it
because
was
we're
funny.
like, because I was on the edge of my seat, like, oh god, you know, like, but that's the thing. If this was a superhero movie, that moment would have been like, oh, is he going to get caught? Is he not? So no. Life isn't that straightforward. It ain't
No.
black and white. Of course they were onto him. Shit. It was like,
Yeah, no,
is he going to
okay.
get away with it or not? It's like,
Okay,
no.
nah,
There's
so
more
for
to
me,
it than that. Yeah.
That's more than that's talking about you calling it Arthur again. He was nobody. Like, not one person. Even when the cops looked at him, they looked at him a bit weird that first time. But they
Yeah.
didn't follow him around. That cunt was nobody until he was a painted up lunatic.
Yeah.
That's why it's Joker. That cunt has no name.
Yeah.
That's who he's become.
My cousin here with the C-bombs.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Facebook.
Oh,
on
sorry.
YouTube. No, that's
It's
okay.
just what we do. Fuck.
That's okay. Listen, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I've got 32.
It's alright.
So
We'll beat it one day.
YouTube aren't going to tell us off for the language.
It's always a language one should be on the chain, right?
But yeah, okay. My recommendation: go see Joker quickly before it's off the cinema.
Immediately.
Actually, I don't know how long it's on there for. We saw it quite late.
It'll be done next Wednesday unless there's still because it's the highest grossing. So
Yeah,
they'll wait
yeah,
themselves
okay.
for a while.
So yeah, it might be there for an extra week or so. So yeah, Liam's Library. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications. If you want me to review a book or a movie, leave it in the comment section below and read some good books and take care of one another. See you, bye.
Whoop whoop.